Hello students, let me congratulate you first as you have chosen science, because science is not everybody's cup of tea, and as you have chosen Gopte College for your education. Thank you. Myself, Mrs. Anjali Nadagoda, lecturer in chemistry, KLS Gopte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belagavi. We are going to see unit number 1, that is some basic concepts of chemistry, and this is lecture number 1. Now, these are the two prescribed books by the government of Karnataka for chemistry subject part 1 and part 2. Let me tell you about the syllabus. There are total 14 topics which are grouped under 4 parts, that is general chemistry, physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry. So out of this, first 4 parts comes under general chemistry, then 5, 6, 7 comes under physical chemistry, topic number 8, 9, 10 comes under 8, 9, 10, 11 comes under inorganic chemistry, and 12, 13, 14 comes under organic chemistry. Today we are going to see the top unit number 1 from general chemistry. Some basic concepts of chemistry. What are the objectives of this? To understand and appreciate the role of chemistry in life and characteristics of states of matter. So these 2 points we will cover it in today's lecture. Now, before beginning of the lecture, let me tell you what is chemistry. So, chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the matter, transformation of matter, and as all of we know that matter is made up of atoms and molecules. So, these are the small. What are atoms then? Atoms are the smallest part of the matter which are undivisible, means which cannot be divided further. And what are molecules? Molecules are nothing but the combination of 2 or more atoms, may be similar or may be different. So in short, we can say that chemistry is nothing but the transformation of molecules, and this is or the study of atoms and molecules. So it is well said by Roald Hoffmann, chemistry is the science of molecules and their transformations. It is the science not so much of 100 elements, but of the infinite variety of molecules that may be built from them. Means the study of chemistry is not limited only of 100 elements or the elements which are present in periodic table, but the new compounds or the new molecules which are formed with the combination of them. So we can say chemistry is unlimited. So chemistry deals with the composition, that is combination, structure and properties of the matter. Now, which are the parts of matter? Atoms and molecules are the basic constituents. Constituents means part of a matter. So chemistry is called as science of atoms and molecules. So this is in definite words, that we can say it as definition of chemistry. Now, let us see the importance of chemistry. I will start this point with a statement that our day starts with chemistry and ends with chemistry. I hope you all are agree with this, right? Now, think over it. Just see, when we wake up, we drink water, right? Water is nothing but what? The combination of 2 elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. We all all of you know that these two are in the gaseous form, right? Then we start brushing. So the brush and the paste, these are made up of chemicals. The salt which we are using or the sugar which we are using in our day to day life, in our food, it is nothing, they are nothing but the chemicals, right? So our, even which we are, the bed which we are using, it is made up of either wrought iron or wood, etc. So all these are the blessings of chemistry in one or the other form, right? So in this topic we will take only few points which gives us the importance of chemistry, because importance of chemistry is unlimited and we have to limit somewhere. So I have taken very few points for this. I hope everybody knows what are the basic needs of humankind, that is food, clothing and shelter. In short, we say Anna, Vastra and Nivara, right? So all these consist of what? Chemistry, right? For building purpose, for making a house, we need cement or bricks, right? So these all, it comes under chemistry. The water which we are using, it is chemical compound, is it? The food, different kind of food, and the proteins, vitamins which we are getting from the food are nothing but the chemicals. Then in medicines, which are called as drugs, right? So many life-saving drugs are there. For fever, we are using the paracetamol or aspirin or Sinarest. These are the few examples of the drugs. There are two important drugs which are used in cancer therapy, that is cisplatin and Taxol. Then the drug which is used in AIDS treatment is nothing but AZT, that is azithromycin. So these are the important drugs which are given in as examples in your textbook. So this question can come for 1 mark. Now let us see again the next slide. Now the picture is of the farmer which is spreading the fertilizers. So from this we will get the idea, in the manufacturing of fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides, we need chemistry, or the base is of chemistry. Now let us see the next one, polymers, or the different industrially important compounds. For example, caustic soda, right? Sodium bicarbonate, then sodium carbonate, which we are using in our daily life. Even the gadgets, electronic gadgets which we are using in our life, and nowadays mobile has become a big necessity, right? So this mobile or the calculator is made up of what? Small chips, and these small chips are made up of semiconductors, right? Then different kinds of clothes which we are using, which are made up of polymers. The plastic things which we are using in our life, right? These are nothing but what? PVC, polyvinyl chloride, which are polymers. So in designing and manufacturing new industrially important compounds like semiconductors and or polymers, etc., the chemistry is useful. Now again one more use that is very important, that is in controlling pollution. Now you may think how we can control the pollution. Actually, if we see from the industries, there is a lot of pollution. Even from the vehicles, the petrol or the other diesel which we are using in vehicles, it makes lot of pollution. Then how we can control? So we can control it by using the solar cells or solar batteries, right? So these are again made up of semiconductors, and hence the chemistry is useful in this. So as I told you, it is unlimited because scope of chemistry is very large and we cannot limit it, but still the important points I have taken. Now this as we have seen that chemistry is the science of matter and their transformation, right? So what is mean by matter? Matter is nothing but anything which has mass and occupies space is called as matter. So in universe, I, you, we, all, or table, or chair, or tree, or any other thing which you can see, which is having some mass and which occupies the space is nothing but what? Matter. Now, this matter can exist in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. Let us see the pictorial form of this, that is how the atoms or the molecules are present in these three states. So if you see the picture here, in solid state, the atoms or the molecules are very close to each other, whereas in liquid there is a little bit distance between the atoms and molecules, and in gaseous state the distance between the atoms and molecules is very large, or we can say they are far apart from each other, right? And that's why if you see in solid state, these molecules or the atoms cannot move here and there, means free movement is not possible. Whereas in liquid state, the movement of atoms or molecules is possible and hence the liquid can flow. Whereas in gaseous state, this movement is very large and hence gas occupies the large space. Now these characteristics are given in next slide. So characteristics of states of matter. How we can define solid? Solids are having definite volume and definite shape. Then particles are in definite order, means in fixed order, that is no freedom of movement. Then liquids are having definite volume but not the definite shape. It takes the shape of container in which we feel it. Then particles are close to each other but they can move around. And in gaseous state, neither definite volume nor definite shape. And these particles are far apart from each other, so their movement is very easy and fast. Now these three states of matter are interconvertible. Interconvertible means we can change it from one state to other state. How? By changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. Now conditions means what? Either we can increase the temperature, means we can heat it, or we can decrease the temperature, means we can freeze it, right? Then we can increase the pressure or we can decrease the pressure. So here it is diagrammatically explained how the solid is converted into liquid. When solid is heated, this process is called as melting. Then when liquid is heated, it goes in vapor state or in gaseous state. The best example is water, which shows all three states. In water exists as ice cube or ice in solid form. In liquid, that is which we are using in day-to-day life, and in gaseous state means steam or water vapors. So what are the names of these processes are given on the arrows. Now reverse thing is when the vapors are condensed, it goes in liquid form, that is when vapors are cooled, it goes in liquid form, and when liquid is cooled again it goes in solid form, that is nothing but freezing, right? Now there are some substances which when heated it directly goes from solid to gas without getting it converted into liquid form, and this process is called as sublimation. All of you know the burning of camphor, right? When you burn camphor, you cannot see the liquid form. Directly it goes in vapor form. Or one more example I can give, that is naphthol balls, right? uh, which is used to prevent it from cockroaches, is it? So have you seen the liquid form of camphor, the naphthol ball? No, you are keeping the ball as it is in solid form, and after few days you can there is no naphthol ball is remaining, right? Means it goes directly in vapor state. This process is called as sublimation, and the opposite is, that is gaseous to solid, is called as deposition. So these three states are interconvertible. Thank you for listening patiently. So here we will stop. In next class we will study the further part.